Welcome to the YouTube channel Digging Deeper SA with Raymond Douglas. In our series called Islam 101, you are going to learn the deceits, deceptions and contradictions of the Islamic faith, equipping you to be able to interact with your Muslim friends and present the gospel of Jesus Christ. Welcome to the first episode of Islam 101, Why Learn Islam. And after studying Islam for a number of years and writing a book called My Father Said, Discovering the Deception of Islam, there is no doubt in my mind that the religion of Islam is a religion which comes from the depths of hell and is simply a modern version of Arianism, which the 1st and 2nd century Christians had to deal with, and was the foundation and the reason for the First Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. The reaction to people when I say this is very often, why are you attacking a peaceful religion? Another comment which some Christians make is, but they've heard that Muslims love Jesus. Another one, and this is the most devastating one I've had, which I heard yesterday for the first time, was, but Islam is just another version of Christianity. And in truth, Islam denies the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And as a Christian, it is our duty to go and spread the truth of the good news of Jesus Christ, which is known as the Great Commission. And thus, through the series, I hope to educate and teach a little bit about the basic fundamentals of what Islam is about. Christians on the whole tend to hide away from this type of Islamic attack, and it's just simply because of their ignorance. For example, in Surah 4:157, it is clear that Jesus was not killed, and it was simply a substitution put on the cross, denying the total historical record of the Christian faith. And Christians who do this are simply complacent and ill-equipped to defend their faith, just like the Pharisees were in Jesus' time. All religion and no truth and action behind them. And then we get verses like Surah 9:5, which tells Muslims to go and kill all the polytheists, and that is all non-Muslims, until everyone in the world are Muslims. And what do Christians in the Western world do? They take the back seat and they say, wow, this can't be, because people will not just go and kill people ad hoc just because a book says so. Well, this ignorance ignores the mass media evidence of where 90 million Muslims, the radical Muslims, are terrorists actively killing non-Muslims around the world. And we just need to see reports in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and look at those reports and see what's actually happening in the world. The second point is Islamic expansion is on our doorstep, and the masses are ignorant of what this is actually doing to our country. How this plays out is Muslims first established a community, and once they've established a community, they establish a mosque. And once a mosque is established, according to Islam, that area belongs to Allah, not the state, not the person who's got the rights to the property. It belongs to Allah. And once that has happened, they begin their propagation. In other words, the inviting of non-people or non-Muslims into Islam, which is called dawah. And as that area becomes more and more Islamic, the next step is to start implementing Sharia law. That is the Islamic law, the way to live, and their guidance. This is firstly done by insisting that subtle things, which are acceptable to most people, like their specialized marriage laws or their specialized eating laws of halal food, slowly those get implemented into the society and acceptance comes in. And once that has been established, whether the ruling party or the ruling government agrees or not, Sharia law starts to get implemented by slowly disciplining their members, diverse from the current laws of the country. In short, what happens is Islam gets entrenched into an area and becomes the law of that area or the law of that land as it slowly expands and growing and planting more mosques. And what does Sharia law actually mean in our lives? In short, we suddenly become Islamic without knowing it. And you lose your right of religion freedom. If you criticize Muhammad or the Quran, or denying that he is a prophet, that is punishable by death. The Islamic faith is linked to war and forces it upon people of any religion. There is a limited teaching in Islam with regard to the true God of creation. And Islam is a faith that contradicts the historical record of accepted traditions of truth. These may seem like very harsh words and a direct attack on Islam. And I simply ask you, before you stand in judgment of these claims I've made, follow the evidence and allow the truth of the evidence to prevail. Allow the truth of measurement to be balanced equally between the two religions of faith which you are comparing. And express that evidence in a measure on a balanced standard. Then you're in a position to make a more informed decision. And those are the two main reasons why you should know Islam. Firstly, it's a religion from Satan. And secondly, you are unaware of the expansion and the control Islam is having on your direct society. And one day it's going to be too late to stand in opposition to it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of A Shadow of Islam, A True Perspective. If you would like to support the Digging Deeper group of podcasters and YouTubers, please go to www.patreon.com/diggingdeepersa.